two, or second up, but first up in the Q&A department. Yeah, I got that one right this time. Here we go. This is going to be a little bit of a longer one, and we'll talk a little bit about it. It's good that I picked this up after we just talked about incursions, but Taylor Estmare, he asks us, do you think that the spell from Spider-Man No Way Home could affect other Peter Parkers in the multiverse and not just affect the Peter Parker we saw in the MCU? And could this also tie into the whole fractured multiverse incursions and everything like that? I mean,
if they wanted to, sure, yeah, it could.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would honestly be a very cool angle that I could see them taking on it. But the problem is that Sony would have to write that into their own scripts, and I don't trust them being able to pull that off as per Sony. So it's like, if the MCU wanted to, like after Spider-Man 4, maybe Spider-Man 5 or 6, if they do another smaller MCU story with the multiverse, it'd be cool to come around to and be like, look, I don't know what you guys did with that spell, but it messed up everything on our end as well. So let's try to fix it. Like, that'd be a good thing to return to, but I don't trust Sony. So
I think you start to overcomplicate it.
Yeah. It's
plus, how many Spider-Men have their identity out there?
Yeah, it's because it's just, to me, it feels like a major headache, because you don't know what, unless they actually like gave some background history on that particular Spider-Man or Spider-Man. You don't know who knows their identity and who doesn't, and then you're just trying to figure out, okay, now who else will know?
I mean,
to me, it's just a big headache at that point.
And that's the thing. It's like all the Spider-Man have something at least decent-ish going for them. Now, if this spell could work on Spider-Man Lotus, they'd probably want it. So I don't know.
He goes up to Doctor Strange. I made a terrible mistake.
Have you seen those texts? Oh. Oh, well, I guess that's why T'Challa is after you.
What now?
Oh,
I still can't believe that that's just the plot of The Incredibles. Like, this entire thing is just Syndrome. You can't write. You couldn't make up what's just happened.
It only happened on the internet, and it's like entirely true, which is the funny part. It's like someone waited, was it so is it 6 years to do it?
Yeah, because he was 9, now he's 15. So yeah.
It's
literally Syndrome, and it keeps me up at night thinking like Syndrome, like it's legit just happened. Like what?
You ignored me. Now you me.
The age range also here makes sense, because if you look at the age range, it's so this kid was in Call of Duty chats on Xbox when he was 7. I mean, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense. Like, this was just common back then.
God.
So that's how the spell works. If anybody really needs it, and if it's going to affect anybody, it'll be the people involved with Lotus. So there you go. Not to be confused with Locust, which were the main plot driver of a Jurassic Park movie. The fucking Locust.
Yeah. It's was it have a dinosaur movie where the plot is the locust?
It's about giant bugs. Sweet. Wait, I'm not sure if locusts are bugs or not, because I'm no bug aficionado. So if somebody knows, you can let me know in the comments, and I will keep on calling them bugs or whatever they might be. Arachnids, I'm not sure. See, tying that to spiders. They're probably not arachnids. Anyway, another Q&A. This one comes from our buddy Envious Cosplay Marvin, and he asked this, but I also saw a couple other people say, you know what, that's a good question, talk about it. So we don't really talk about the Star Wars stuff on here, but we'll do this as a members Q&A. And he says, do you think that Lucasfilm will eventually run out of ideas to fill in the blanks and bridge the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy? He says he loved Obi-Wan and some of the stuff they've done, but we've gotten Solo, we've gotten Rogue One, we got Rebels, we got Obi-Wan, we're getting Andor. What else can you possibly do? And again, I think many people are feeling like him. You do kind of run into this burnout where you're like, there's no stakes in it, right? Like, watching Obi-Wan, you knew everybody, you knew how it was going to go.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, the Grand Inquisitor is dead, huh? No, he's not. There was none of that. Even my wife was like, oh, wait, that's the guy from Rebels. He's alive. I was like, oh, even you know that. And like, you've never even seen Rebels. You just seen my action figure of him. So, okay. Like, yeah, it's, I mean, look.
But here's the thing, right? You know, that list of what they've done that's in that time period isn't a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can do, how many Jedi were there? You could have so many still be alive and be like, hey, Order 66 screwed some people up in their head.
Well, according to some stories, we're getting a Cal Kestis series. It's in early development.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you can give Cal Kestis a character, I'm down.
Same, yeah. And also, you got to dance around the video games, so maybe you set it between the two games or something. Or, I mean,
it's a fair time jump.
Yeah, I'd be cool with it. So,
and how long it takes to make a game anyway? You could probably like write and film an entire script and be like, hey, here's what happens in our show. Go off from there.
And I do think that also what Taika said recently is really important. Where he was like, look, I'm making a Star Wars movie not connected to anything, based on things you've never seen before in this universe. Good. Good. That's what I've been waiting for. So slowly they're going to try to get away. Obviously the High Republic, the Acolyte show is getting away from it, but we know that's going to feature a younger Yoda. So it's still like, okay, it's a prequel to episode 1. Like, yeah. Slow and steady.
I think there's so much stuff you can do in that prequel to the original time span.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what, 20 years? Like, there's so much you can do.
Yeah. So
it hasn't got to be any character we've known or seen before. You can do someone completely new, like Fallen Order did.
Nah, you gotta shove Vader back in there just because.
I mean, why not give us a prequel, like a series of Vader?
Yeah,
a prequel sequel with Vader in it. Like, why not?
I mean,
what's he been doing?
No, they've been doing that. If you've been reading the Vader comics,
I mean, the comics are amazing that were based on.
No one reads the comics. It's like 12 of you.
So they were good. Damn it,
like 12 people. But no, it's you can do a ton of stuff.
Yeah, you can. So
will they run out of ideas? Probably. Maybe 20 years time from now. Sure, they may be.
Right. So that's like the thing. It's like, look, slow and steady. We'll find out more. I think once they wrap up a couple more of these projects, I won't be surprised if, again, this year we start hearing more about, okay, this is what we're going to do, and they make some announcements. We're like, oh, okay, that's a little out there, because they've said they even want to make sequels, to things happening after the rise of Skywalker. So, good. Rogue One, that film is going to be after that. So slowly we're going to get away from these pre-established things.
Rogue One's going to be after the rise of Skywalker? What?
Yeah. Or not Rogue One. What's that, Rogue Squadron? Is that what the one? Yeah, Rogue Squadron.
I'd say Rogue Squadron, yeah.
Time travel.
Sure, I'll take that. I'll take anything at this point that freshens up Star Wars. Give me time travel. I don't care. Oh, wait, they did time travel already.
I was going to say we've already got that.
Never mind then. Well, Star Wars. Give us something fresh, Taika.
Fit.
Yeah.